First Amendment activists and cop watchers who post their videos on YouTube are viewed by some as the definitive source on the law as well as the Constitution. But are they?
What? What's the Supreme Court say? How much space does the Supreme Court say? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Learn it. I'm not.
So what does the Supreme Court say when it comes to how close you can be when you film the police in public? Is it 10, 20, 25, or 30 feet? Whatever you think it is, back it up with case law, not YouTube law.
You talk to me first. What's your name, badge number? What you tell the judge? Rios? What's your badge number? 22. You confronted me first, so don't. And I told you no. So don't come over here and tell me what the to do, all right? You said, can I help you? And I'm telling you, mind your own business. Go back to doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my job.
Okay, well, I'm not interfering. I'm standing right here. Look, you interfered with yourself. I'm standing here recording. You walked away.
I said give me some space, sir.
I didn't say a word to you.
I said give me some space.
I'm not doing anything. What about all these people here?
They're not over here. Okay, we're searching this car, sir.
Okay, good. I'm going to document it.
Give us some space.
You have enough space.
No, step back.
Supreme Court says 10 feet. What? What's the Supreme Court say?
So what does the Supreme Court say when it comes to how close you can be when you film the police in public? Well, here's what one of the comments said. So is it 10 feet? Well, I'll also point out that 13 people gave their thumbs up. They liked that comment, which means 13 thumbs up, and the one person who left the comment, there's 14 people who are under the impression that you can be only 10 feet from the police, and there's really nothing they can do as long as you're filming in public. But is it true? And if it is, where's the case law to back it up? Because if the Supreme Court said it, there would be case law, and I mean specific to 10 feet. Is it Supreme Court law, or is it a case of YouTube law? And when the officer said, well, they don't specify, meaning the Supreme Court, was the officer wrong, or was he right? While there is no specific Supreme Court case explicitly establishing a legal distance to film the police, the landmark case often cited regarding the right to record police activity is Glick v. Cuniff, which held that citizens have a First Amendment right to film police officers performing their duties in public. But this right is subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions, including maintaining a reasonable distance to avoid interference with police operations, essentially meaning there is no set legal distance, but a reasonable distance is required depending on the situation. I don't fault the Supreme Court for not establishing a fixed distance because it's impractical, plus it'd be irresponsible and reckless. There's no way you can say 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. Who measures the distance? How would a person know they were 10 or 15 or 20 feet away? Conversely, there are a growing number of states that are beginning to establish a 25-foot no-go zone. My advice is we have to put minimum distance from the police or other first responders completely out of mind. Why? Because the distance is not up to us. Whether or not the distance is reasonable, unreasonable, lawful, unlawful, right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the police who decide what is a reasonable versus an unreasonable distance. These situations are so fluid and so open-ended and so arbitrary. There's a few feet here, a few feet there. As long as the cops aren't leaving a trail of dead bodies that can be traced back to them, they're never going to get in any trouble for making these so-called interfering arrests, obstructing arrests. They make the arrest problem solved. Message sent, chilling effect received. What happens after the arrest, whether it's dismissed, a finding of not guilty, or heaven forbid there's a lawsuit, none of it sticks to the police. It only sticks to us, and it all smells the same. As a wrap, it looks like the cop watcher was wrong. The cop was right when he said no. The Supreme Court hasn't specified a minimum distance, and the cop watcher excoriated him, made him look stupid. Learn it, he said. Well, the only one who hadn't learned it was the cop watcher. But in the process of not learning anything, he passed that bad information on at least to 14 people we know of. How much more damage has he been doing? Hard to say. can't catch all their big mistakes. And this is why it's important that if we're going to get in the business of talking about the law, we use Supreme Court case law, not YouTube law, because it really does come down to something as simple as learn it.